I don't know what he was doing. It was weird. It was weird to see that type of fighting. But anywho, that's not Jake Paul's fault. So Jake Paul did what he needed to do, and he won, and he looked good.
Jake Paul looked really good. I think he won all the rounds. I mean, it's good for boxing. I think he deserves a chance to fight for a world title.
Jake Paul did get fatigued down the stretch, but he still held on.
The boxing world had a lot to say after Jake Paul's win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Ryan Garcia tweeted, "Jake did his thing. Outbox Chavez Jr." Shane Mosley also gave Jake credit, saying he moved well and fought a smart fight.
But he
Didn't hold back on Chavez Jr., calling his performance strange and saying it might be time for him to retire. Fans and experts shared the same view, impressed by Jake's progress, but deeply disappointed in Julio's lackluster effort and what it might mean for his future in boxing.
Jake Paul fought a great fight. You know, he moved around the way he's supposed to, throwing great punches, and for the experience he had, he did fantastic. Junior, on the other hand, he didn't throw any punches until the third or fourth round or something. He was just kind of walking forward, and I don't know what he was doing. It was weird. It was weird to see that type of fighting. But anywho, that's not Jake Paul's fault. So Jake Paul did what he needed to do, and he won, and he looked good.
Where do you think Junior goes from here, in your opinion, Shane?
Junior needs to retire from here.
Junior needs to retire.
He needs to retire. I mean, if you can't throw any punches in 2, 3, 4 rounds, you need to retire. I mean, if you can, what are you doing? What are we doing? You just living off. Basically, you're living off your father's name. Yeah. That's basically what you're doing, because you didn't even fight until the last round, maybe last two rounds, and threw some punches, and you had some success when you threw some punches.
Piers Morgan didn't pull any punches either. Said, "I had a better fight with Jake Paul on Thursday than the unwatchable farce that took place tonight." He accused Jake of cashing in while hurting the sport by fighting aging veterans, but not everyone agreed. Rising star Rayo Valenzuela praised Jake's performance in a quick interview, saying Jake impressed him all night. Most notably, Rayo said, "Jake deserves to be ranked among the top 15 to 20 fighters in his division." Coming from someone in the boxing world, that's a bold sign. Jake is starting to be seen as more than just a YouTuber trying out boxing.
To the fight.
Oh, great fight. Julio's back after all he's been through, so, I tip my hat off to him. It's not easy, especially through, when life throws at you sometimes, but, it was a good fight.
What'd you make of how Jake Paul looked and fought?
He's doing his thing. Jake Paul's looking good. Shout out to him.
Do you think he's ready to fight maybe a top 15, top 20?
Sure, yeah.
So I guess where does Junior go from here, in your opinion?
It's up to him. He can retire if he wants, or he can have another, fight like this. Fight a YouTuber or something.
Yeah.
Via backing that up was Jose Benavidez Sr., father and trainer of David Benavidez, who also had strong praise for Jake's win over Julio. After watching the fight, he said Jake looked sharp and even floated the idea of Jake possibly facing his son one day. He added that Jake now deserves a shot at a world title. That kind of support, especially from someone who's trained elite fighters, is a big sign that boxing insiders are beginning to take Jake seriously, not just as an entertainer, but as a legit threat in the ring.
I think Jake Paul looked really good. I think he won all the rounds. I mean, it's good for boxing. I think he deserves a chance to fight for a world title. He proved it today with the ex-world champion, Julio Cesar Chavez, that, he dominated and he did really good.
What did you think of Chavez's performance? Early on, he didn't throw a lot, and then towards the end, he had some moments. Were you disappointed in Chavez?
Well, I thought, he was going to try to get Jake Paul a little tired. He was blocking and taking all his shots, but I think he just got tired, and couldn't execute it. So Jake Paul did a great job.
Showbiz the Adult, a well-known boxing analyst with a deep understanding of the sport, also shared his thoughts. He said Jake has improved more than people give him credit for. According to Showbiz, fans still look at Jake's past and ignore the boxing skills he's developed. He pointed out Jake's improved timing, discipline, and ring control traits that can't be faked. For him, it's not just about fame or attention anymore. It's about Jake's real technical growth and skill set.
I looked at Jake. I was saying, thank you, Jake. Yep. I was saying, thank you, Jake. A lot. The thing is, not to say that because he beat a 6-year-old Mike Tyson that, that impressed me with. What I'm saying is you couldn't really see everything that Jake possessed in that fight. He has gotten way better. I saw him training, and I'm like, the guy is good. He messed around and got good. You don't like Zurdo fight? Zurdo looked. I mean, that was one of the best I've seen, but the best times I've seen him. No, Zurdo won this clear to me. Don't forget it was a point deduction. We're on 15, 113. I mean, 113, 112. 117, 110. Yeah, it was clearly Zurdo. Yeah, it was clearly Zurdo, bro. I mean, Zurdo was making a miss. And Zurdo was really, I was impressed by his defense.
Ringside footage told the same story. Jake Paul controlled the fight from the very beginning, while Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. barely responded with anything meaningful. Clips making rounds on social media showed how one-sided the bout really was. Jake's footwork, his jab, and his conditioning gave him the edge the entire way. Observers were struck not just by his physical dominance, but by how mentally focused he was. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he never lost control.
Jake Paul has defeated Chavez Jr. right? This fight, Chavez got active in them last 3 rounds and he really showed his power. But throughout most of the fight and throughout those first 5 or 6 rounds, right, most of us were saying, is Chavez here to fight or not? Because he was not throwing very much at all. And then you thought maybe the strategy is let Jake Paul get tired because he's not used to going 10 rounds. And then maybe in those last couple rounds you could get him. But Jake Paul did get fatigued down the stretch, but he still held on. He looked well even in the final 3 rounds when Chavez was pouring it on enough to get over the top. I'd say it's impressive considering Chavez Jr. is a former champion. For Jake Paul, probably going to get a title shot soon. My question to y'all is, what did y'all think of the fight? When Chavez first came out, man, I'm like, he's not throwing. Jake Paul looked really active. I go, when is Chavez going to throw? Then Chavez began to throw, and you thought maybe the strategy is let Jake Paul get tired and then try to beat him down the stretch, right? Which I think that was the strategy. But Paul proven to hang on, and Chavez goes down in this one. So, guys, what do y'all think about the fight? What do you think about Jake Paul's performance, and can he get a title shot?
At the press conference after the fight, Jake Paul showed the same confidence he had inside the ring. He gave respect to Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., calling him a tough warrior and showing appreciation for the proud Mexican fighting tradition. But Jake didn't shy away from calling out critics who doubted his toughness and questioned his chin. Actions speak louder than words, he said, aiming that message squarely at the naysayers. For Jake, this wasn't just another win. It was personal. He wanted to prove his growth was real. He left the arena not just with a win, but with validation.
It's between you and Cesar Chavez Jr. tonight. Now, in round 9, the heat really turned up. Did you feel the Mexican power that he promised, or do you feel like he didn't perform the way you thought that he would?
No, yeah, he brought a hard fight there at the end, and that's that Mexican warrior style. I don't know how he was eating all those punches, to be honest. My hands low-key hurt from his face, and so respect to him. He had good cardio, and he came on strong at the end. He's a very, very strong guy, had a lot of power, but people underestimate my chin and my ability and my toughness.
Jake, Jonathan Agger of Pro Boxing Fans. During the week, you had a viral interview with Piers Morgan where he said that he didn't think that you would beat Chavez. He felt like when you fight a former world champion, you'll come unstuck. What did you prove to not only him but other people that have criticised you?
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, actions speak louder than words, so people can sit behind their desks and sit on their TV shows and say a lot of things about my career. but everyone's tuning in, everyone's watching, and I just continue to win.
And you mentioned Anthony Joshua. Does it end there? Would you want to bring Tyson Fury out of retirement?
Man, there's too many people for me to fight. I need more time. At the end of the day, that's the only thing I can't do is create more time. So we'll see what happens.
Piers Morgan's earlier doubts also came back into focus after the fight. Before the bout, Piers had questioned Jake's legitimacy as a boxer, saying he hadn't faced a true test yet. He implied Jake's rise was more about hype than skill. But Jake didn't let the criticism affect him. He stayed locked in during training and kept saying that performance, not reputation, was what mattered. And he backed up those words with a dominant showing, proved to everyone, including critics like Piers, that he's not here to play around, he's here to compete.
Shit. YouTube this, YouTube that, Disney that. This shit is not a joke. I'm knocking out the best of the best, beating all of these people time in and time again. And it's about time that you old heads and all these fucking boxers who think they know about the sport put some respect on my name.
Yeah, but you're not going to get... Look, you're going to make a ton of money. Listen, I think as a businessman, you are brilliant, right? I give you full credit for that. When you took on Mike Tyson as a business enterprise, there's no argument. You absolutely crushed the numbers, crushed the money and everything else. But the idea that you can say on the one hand, I'm a killer, I get in the ring with the best people, and you get in the ring with a guy who's 50, he's literally nearly as old as me.
I'm not talking about Mike Tyson. I'm talking about Anderson Silva, Tyron Woodley, champions in their sport, Golden Gloves champions, Ryan Borland, Andre August, undefeated fighters. The list goes
but what
on
great
and on.
boxer have you been in the ring with?
Former world champion on Saturday, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., son of the greatest Mexican fighter of all time, besides me, of course. Like, I don't know what you guys want to see. I tried to fight Canelo. He ducked out of it. You asked him about that. You said he's going to kill me. So what do you want, Piers? You're laughing when you say, oh, Jake is going to fight Canelo. I think you would kill him. But then you're like, oh, you're not fighting this guy. You're the problem here with this whole situation and criticism of my career. I'm trying to fight the best people, and that's why Chavez is here on Saturday. I want Canelo. I want Anthony Joshua. I want all these people. It's been 5 years in this sport.
But the problem is the only proper boxer you fought was Tommy Fury, and he beat you. And he's not even the best. He's not even the best fighter in his family.
Golden Gloves champion Andre August, Brian Borland as well. Anderson Silva was an undefeated boxer. I mean, you can sit there and make up shit, but you actually don't know your facts. I fought multiple boxers with professional records, and including Mike Tyson himself, who I think is going to be a harder fight than Chavez.
Boxing veteran Tony Jeffries also joined the list of people giving Jake his due. He highlighted how Jake took his preparation seriously before facing Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Jeffries pointed out that Jake surrounded himself with elite trainers, top-level nutritionists, and a professional training environment. It wasn't just about money, it was about discipline and focus. Jeffries said Jake's structure and attitude reflected how real fighters train, and that commitment was clear in the results we saw in the ring.
Now, one huge advantage of having money is he can hire the best team in the world. He can have the best things possible. Like, he's got a hyperbaric chamber in his home, but he's got the best kind of chamber. This is helping him with recovery. Normal fighters can't afford to do this. So because of this, he's got that advantage. Now, you might be thinking, well, him getting in a hyperbaric chamber for recovery is not going to help him be a better boxer. Well, my friend, let me tell you, it is. And the reason why it is, if you think you've done a hard boxing training session and you've got another one the next day because fighters train like once, twice, even 3 times a day, you're going to recover faster. If you recover faster, what happens? You perform better on the next session. So let's just say an average boxer is progressing like this because they're not recovering properly. Jake Paul is recovering and progressing like this. We've seen how fast he has progressed, whether you like him or not. He's come from 0 boxing experience to where he's at now. Now, you might be saying, well, Tony, he's fighting an old man. Oh, mate. Just look at who Floyd Mayweather fought on his 6th fight, then look at who Jake fought on his 6th fight, and Just see here the comparisons right there. Now back to the money. Having that money, he's doing hyperbaric chambers. He's got the best sports scientists, the best trainers around. And if I was still fighting right now and I couldn't afford what Jake's got, what I would be doing is watching what he's doing. Now you might think that is absolutely crazy. Why would I want to watch Jake Paul? Well, because like I said, he's got the best equipment. He's got the best trainers. He's got the best team that money can buy. If you can take snippets of that for in your training, you know, he's doing something right.